Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to my flip through video of my ink library. I was highly inspired by Hemingway Jones and his video entitled My Ink Library to make an archive or a library in a watercolor book of all my bottled inks. And so I've been working on that for about a week. And I'm going to link his video below. Please check out his video and his channel. And tell him Chris sent you, by the way. And it was really an idea that struck me right away, is right up my alley. Those of you who know me know that I use 3x3 watercolor paper, cut 3 inches by 3 inches, and I make a swatch, and then I do a little water test for each one. And that's, you know, kind of the precursor of how Ink Swatch was born, when pen friend Matt had the idea to put that all on a website, which I have no skill for, but he did it. And anyway, so I'm already one who sees my inks on watercolor paper. That's what I like. It shows them really nice, and I love to see what the water does with the ink. Anyway, so I've got all 128 inks in here, and it's quite a treasure. It really is. It's going to be a keepsake, if nothing else, and definitely a lot of fun to, you know, flip through and kind of think about what ink I'm wanting to use and work with. It's just astounding how much fun that I really had doing this. And what I just did a little swatch and then a little entry with a glass nib pen. So, you know, I can get a feel for what it looks like. Of course, it's going to look different on watercolor paper than it does on Tomoe River or CVS caliber paper or anything else, but I really love this. Now, what I started out with my 2021 inks, and that was my 12 top favorite. And then I had done the same thing in 2022. And then I'd even started with a couple for 2023, like Cross Violet was the first one I listed this year, as I finally have a bottle and it's on my top favorite list, you know, that kind of thing. So I did not go by color. I did not go by manufacturer. I just went, basically. And at times, you'll see with a flip through, it did end up being 4 pinks in a row, or it did end up being, say, 2 purples on the same page, but mostly that was just kind of serendipity. It happened, and it was a happy coincidence. So this doesn't replace my swatch cards, and it doesn't replace my 68 GSM Tomoe River ink journals, where I splatter and water test and do all of that. It doesn't replace those at all. It's an addition, and it's a really nice thing to have right on my ink desk, front and center. I've got probably 8 of these and 2 hardcover thick Tomoe River journals. So if I was looking for one ink in those, it'd take me longer. I could find it, because a lot of times I'll remember by date, and I usually date them. Like in here, I wrote May 2020, so I know when I started this one, that kind of thing. But to address the issue of finding my one ink among them, I did do an index. I numbered all the pages in the watercolor book, and I did an index, which is, I'm not done with it. I know I have each color, you know, separated, and the page numbers, but I'm going to type it up so it's more readable. And also, like, I'll type purple, and then I'll more or less do a manufacturer alpha, you know, like a Bunga Box will be first instead of Twisby and that kind of thing, you know, kind of put them in order, sort of. But other than purple and pink, it won't matter, because most of these I have just a few in each category. Like maybe, like under turquoise, I have 6. So, you know, it's not going to be hard to find a specific ink I'm looking for on the index. And you may or may not want to even, you know, do that if you're doing one. But I thought I'd mention it. So now let's go over to my pen desk. And as we head over there, I want to try to show you, I put my inks once again into a rolling cart, and I like it. I've got all my kind of top favorites in the top of it. And then up above my workstation, I have mounted 2 spice racks, and I did a separate video on those. But those spice racks are perfect for the little Diamine, the small, well, this is just a J.R. Bond Porcelain de Lune. And then, you know, like Pilot has the small I think it's either 18 or 20 mil, and Sailor has the smaller ones, and Diamine, the square Diamine 30 mil. Those all go, you know, too deep on that spice rack. So I've got 2 spice racks on the wall, and it's nice to have all my inks at my fingertips, because for a while I had put them on a shelf, the larger boxes, and they ended up stacked up. And that wasn't really conducive to me finding them when I wanted them. And I'm just lazy enough that that would kind of be a barrier. And all of my bottled inks, I do have a sample vial that I fill to and keep in like the Goulet style ink sample trays, because then I don't have to fill directly from the bottle. Although that doesn't bother me as much as it used to, and occasionally I'll do that. I try to be really careful about mold, because we live in South Texas, so we're already working against nature already with that. So I think what we'll do is we'll head over to the ink desk, and then I'll do a complete flip through. It is 128 pages, so I'll try not to yak too much per page, but there's a lot of thoughts I've had. Of course, you can always pause it if you want to read what I wrote on the little entry. There were some interesting things that I came up with. So we'll head over to the pen desk now. See you over there. Okay, so this is where I put my inks. This is the top part of the rolling cart, and then down below there's more, and then there's the unfinished floor down there, downstairs, so to speak. And then over here, let's see, I'm sorry about bouncing you around. These are the spice racks. Whoops. Well, it's kind of hard because I've got the arm for the camera, which I'm going to use. So the spice racks are here, holding the small bottles. I didn't really think, oh, there's Coco. He's in the chair behind me, so it seemed like there was a mirror there or something. So, let's see. And this is the top part of that shelf. Oh dear, I'm afraid you're bouncing around quite a bit. But you can see, like TWSBIs, you can get 2 in there. And I'll link the other video. My friend, my local friend Rochelle made this. It's gorgeous. It's a little essential oil holder. And then same with Robert Oster. They go in 2 at a time. And then I've got my Sailor inks and little Diamine square ones. So I really like this. This summer, this paneling will be painted. So anyway, going to set up now in the bracket so I can show you the ink journal. Okay, I'm a little bit discombobulated here, but I wanted to show you the, this is a Linden Art cold pressed 8.5 by 5.5, 140 pound, 300 GSM watercolor paper. So it's the same as what I have my tiles on. Well, it's basically the same. The book is a little bit more textured, but it didn't bother me because I was using a glass nib mostly. It just worked better for me to, you know, keep moving with the project to use the glass nib. So this was on Amazon, and I highly recommend it. It's a good quality. Let's see, I think I've got this set up so I can open it and we can see both sides. So I did find some art that I wanted to incorporate somehow. This came off a Little Debbie thing, and it says one of a kind, has a strawberry and a unicorn. I just can't think of anything cuter. I don't want to cut it anymore though. I was thinking about putting it either here or, I don't know, if I do cover, anyway, I'm gonna some other time. But I wanted to incorporate the unicorn somewhere. Because all of our ink collections are going to be different and unique. So, okay. So to start us off here, this is the top 12 from 2021, KWZ Monarch. It's the only ink that I can remember ever ordering out of the country for. I live in Texas in the United States, and when I saw they had it back in stock, I ordered it from the Netherlands. And then Bunga Box Lamont is probably my most expensive bottle, although the Beatles Psychedelic Purple there, Mont Blanc, was pretty expensive too. So don't quote me on that. But okay, then we go on over here. I'm hoping things are straight, but with my glasses and all this, I don't know. So Graf von Faber-Castell Stone Gray, that's my favorite gray ink, and I love their bottle too, but that doesn't really matter. I'm crazy about this. It's what I would call my signature ink. I also love magenta, and when we get to those, I'll show you There's kind of a competition between gray and magenta. This was a 75 ml bottle, and it has water resistance. Yeah, you could see that in the ink tile. See, definitely has some water resistance. Anyway, it's my favorite gray. It's like black for me, so it's definitely a Chris ink. And then Robert Oster Lake of Fire. This ink debuted with the Serendipity pen, so when they first released these pens, they were giving away a bottle of Lake of Fire to the first so many people. I didn't get it free. I had to look up the ink separately. And then Diamine Aqua Lagoon. Oh, it's a super shader. One of my favorite bottled inks. Oh yeah. Artistic and beautiful. And then SBRE Brown. If I hadn't gotten the flu, I wouldn't have gotten that, because I was home when I got the instant notification or push notification that it was back in stock, and I went to my computer in a feverish state and ordered it real quick. It was my favorite brown for a long time, and it's still my top 2. But the Sailor 50 States Brown really competes for that, because it's just a little darker, but it's still warm. So anyway, that's more than I need to say about each one, or we'll never get through. But then Straits Pen Bougainvillea Purple, made in Singapore, I believe. This is a favorite purple too. It's something about how flowy it is, and the brilliant color, the beautiful color. So I bought it came in an ink flight, and I bought a bottle of that. And then Monteverde Purple Rain, I just replaced that. I just got a 30 ml bottle for that. See, I really like these smaller sizes. These are my favorite sizes. The Pilot small one, the TWSBI, the Diamine. The Diamine has a full 30 ml, but it doesn't take up much room. Look at that. It takes up less room than the TWSBI 18 ml. And then your little Monteverde 30 ml bottles, they're pretty nice on space too. You notice I'm just trying to get as much ink as I possibly can into my house, I guess. So then next, Waterman Tender Purple. That, I mean, that's almost a walk away and don't worry about purple anymore for me, because it's so beautiful too. It's a top favorite. Really intensely nice. In fact, I want to do a spread of purples in the other watercolor book. That's the reason why I got it, was I wanted to do some archival comparisons on those pages. And then, let's see, we're almost to the 2022. These are the last two for 2021. And that doesn't mean they came out that year. It was just that year, those were my top 12. So Colorverse Gravity Wave. Oh, I love Gravity Wave. I'm just dying as that bottle goes lower. But that's okay. There's some more teal. You'll see there's more teal coming in here. In fact, I may have forgotten one teal that I remembered. I don't think I got Aurora Borealis in here, so there is going to be a little learning curve here. KWZ Thief's Red from Poland. I love their inks. They're flowy and beautiful. And that's now starting to compete with a Pilot ink, but I love it. For a long time, it was my favorite red. Whoops. Are you getting to see it all? Yeah, okay. And then now we go to 2022 Top 12. Where are we at? Yeah, I'm going to have to talk faster or just flip. Mont Blanc, the Beatles Psychedelic Purple. Oh, it's so beautiful. A pen friend from Germany sent me a sample. I was blown away. And then I just loved it so much, I had to get a bottle as soon as I could. And then Colorverse Supernatural is my favorite green of all time. And it's my favorite green subfamily of greens anyway. I just love it. It makes me think of my home state of Vermont in that part of year where it gets green and it gets psychedelically green. I mean, it's just like, it looks unreal green at first when it pops. So the grass and everything. So then Ferris Wheel Press Algonquin Maple is lovely. It's so beautiful. It makes me think of the reddest leaves, the maple leaves when they, you know, you don't find as many of those as you find the yellow and the orange. And then Quebeco Ruby Red, that is one of my favorite reds too. See, and this makes it isn't so easy to compare, but it is easy for me to be reminded and to find my favorite inks. Because I didn't buy any that I didn't love, you know, in bottle form. So, and then Pilot Roshizuku Sitsu, 50 ml, lovely pink, just so beautiful. And the Pilot inks flow in all my pens so well. I don't have to wonder whether it's going to work. And here's the 50 States Texas. It's quite a bit darker than SBRE Brown. SBRE Brown is warmer and lighter, but it's still, this is still a really warm ink. So, and there's only 20 mils. I'll still have, what I did was I put my remainder, I bought an empty bottle from Faber-Castell, which is probably my favorite bottle for some reason. And I decanted, after the 120 mil got low enough, I put what I had left in here. So it's like, yay, I can, you know, long after Sailor's gone, I'll still have some SBRE Brown, I think. I've kind of been hoardy with that. Okay, and then TWSBI Purple. Oh my goodness. That comes really close to psychedelic purple if you're just looking nib to nib, like writing with the ink. So that's an excellent one to get, like if you're not going to spend the money for the Mont Blanc, the TWSBI ink is really, really good. So it's not quite as intense, but it's close. And then Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton. This was a pen friend gift, and I love it. It's dark purple, and it's so much like J. Arbonne Amethyst de Laurel, but it's non-shimmer. So it's one I go to a lot. And then Noodler's Purple Mountain Majesties was introduced to me in sample form by a pen pal at the time, and then I had to buy a bottle. So I have quite a few Noodlers. If you noticed when I showed you the top of that card, and these are big bottles. These are 3 mil. I mean, yeah, 3 mil. These are 3 ounce bottles. So, oh dear. Yeah. I know there are people out there with more ink than me, and that makes me feel so good. I just can't tell you. I love it. So if you're one that has less ink than me, you can feel good too. Sailor Magno Ackaby, one of my very favorite kind of I have magenta. I got to call it magenta. I'm not good with color descriptions, but it's just gorgeous. And it will stain. It will stain converters sometimes, or demonstrators. I'm not saying it will every time, but be careful. Vinta Macopa, beautiful. It's got tons of green sheen. I don't know if you could probably see that. But yet I love it. It flows so well, and it works. When you add water to it, it's just so much fun. If you have like a notes you're taking, and for me it's CVS Caliber, taking notes and then going over it with a water brush, whew, it's gorgeous. Sailor Grenade is, well, it's been my top red for a long time now because it shades, and it transformed one of my pens into my favorite pen, you know, my favorite to write with red inks. And it's got kind of a sheeny thing going on, but it shades really well. And I think they've just changed the name, but I've got more research to do. I'm going to have to go quicker, I can see, but sorry about that. Cross Violet, beautiful, and I finally got a bottle of that. I put it right here on the spice rack so I could reach it because I use it a lot. And it's a big bottle. See, it's 62.5 mil. And so that's wonderful because I'll go through it, I'm sure. I use it in the big Opus 88 purple lipstick or something. And then I don't have a bottle of Lamy Dark Lilac. Don't get excited. It's just a sample, but it's a generous 9 mil sample. And I wanted this cataloged in here anyway, even though I don't have a bottle. So I have it in a little, let's see, right here. So that's wonderful to have. You know, it's just gorgeous, and there's nothing that beats the green. I mean the gold sheen on it. When you splat that ink, it's amazing. Pilot Iroshizuku Konpeki is beautiful, and I'm loving it. The more I have it and write with it in different pens, the more and more I love it. So here you see a pattern. I started with the Pilot inks. This is the Yamabudo, and it's stunning. It's just beautiful. And then this Fuyu Shogun is a beautiful gray. I usually like a darker gray. So definitely my my other gray, which you'll see the need for an index. This one is darker, the Graf von Faber-Castell. But not by too many notches. You know, this is still a really nice gray. And then I did get the Horsetail Brown. Let's see, I saw that here. Because I thought that they might not be making it much longer, and I love brown, and it's gorgeous. It really is.
It's
2 p.m. Oh no! Uh-oh, I gotta go faster because I've got something I'm supposed to be doing. Heaven forbid. Here's Pilot Murasaki Shikabue, Pilot Asagayo. This is a 15 mil. These are the smaller ones. This one I don't have yet, the Momiji, but I've ordered it. So it's a red in Pilot and I love it. And then I got the little Oxblood in a 30 mil. I just got that. Lots of stories though. Too many stories to go through today. This is Van S. Hissy Fit. Beautiful. I don't think they're going to do it again. Maybe they will. But, uh-oh. Yeah, I've got to, I don't know what I'm doing today. But anyway, I think Mom will understand in a few minutes. Rohr and Klinger Solferino of Magenta Beauty. And then Ferris Wheel Press Double Raspberry. This is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. That's magenta too. And it's just so pretty. Diamine Writer's Blood is a bit wet for me, and that's saying a lot because I love wet inks, but look what that did. The same exact treatment as all the rest of these, and it just glopped the ink down. But it's good for drier pens for me, and I don't dislike it. It's very wet. So, Diamine Sherwood Green. I don't have too many greens. Ferris Wheel Press Goose Poupon, very nice. And then we go into Diamine Florida Blue, KWZ Hawaii Blue. This was a Hipponoto exclusive. J. Arbonne Kyanite Du Nepal. That is a shimmer ink, and I love it. I don't think you can really see the shimmer. This isn't really all that great for showing the color. Blackstone Barrier Reef Blue is discontinued. 30 mil, lots of red sheen. It's pretty, but it's very thick. I may have to thin it out somehow. And then Blackstone Sydney Harbor Blue. I love this color. I don't know, unless they come back, but they were sort of out of business, put out of business. They're, oops, I'm spitting on ink. That's not good. Monteverde Horizon Blue. It's one of my favorite bright blues. Just gorgeous. And Lamy Benatite, that's our Lamy Crystal. Ferris Wheel Press Tanzanite Sky, that's almost gone now. It was a big round 85 ml bottle. And then Twisby Blue Black in a big 70 ml. Fountain Pen Revolution Blue Black. Has a lot of redundancy there. I'm not sure what's going on. This is going to be nice for me to sit down slower and think about it. Hipponoto Kiwi Inks V1 Special Shimmer Ink. Diatramenous Elderberry. This is a wish list ink. I put it in here because I really expect to own it someday. Maybe after I finish some of the others in that color. Le Bon Zeus, Le Bon Athena. Both of those very nice flowy inks. And then here we go with some pinks. Krishna Winter. That comes in a small little bottle like this. So I really enjoy those little bottles. It's just nice to know that you're probably going to finish it in your lifetime. Kobe 41 Suma Riku Rose. Yummy. Oh boy, that's pretty. Lamy Vibrant Pink. I think I got a bottle free with something. And I like it. I'm just not sure why I don't reach for it as much. I like Lavender Pinkly better. It's pretty. And then this one is... I was trying to replace, figure out what was going to replace Lavender Pinkly eventually. And I got Artisan Pastille Rose Grenade Pink. And then Diplomat Orchid came along. I fell in love with that one, which I should have been paying attention because I've got a lot in that colorway. We've already seen them. But this isn't, this isn't a punishment. Sid's Kruznog Dark Orchid. I think it's a little dry, but I like it. It's pretty. And then Pelican 4001 Violet. I love this one. Diamine Imperial Purple. That is, currently without a bottle. I was going to say it's gone. I'm sure it's gone. And then Diamine Pansy. I was trying to come close to Dark Lilac, but it really doesn't. When you really look at them, let's see. I'm not sure we even have time to do this. But it definitely is, anyway, it isn't. In fact, I think this one, the Diamine 100th Anniversary, comes closer to Lamy Dark Lilac, and so does Mombato's hat. Although that is a little starker purple than Lamy Dark Lilac. Anyway, I'm always studying that. That's an important thing for me to study. Can I find some that looks like Lamy Dark Lilac? Monteverde Rose Noir, Diamine Amazing Amethyst, Roaring Klinger Acacia, Robert Oster Muddy Crown. I think we're moving into the, oh, not quite. I have more Robert Oster. Birmingham Allegheny Twilight. That is a little tiny bottle that I compiled. I'm looking upward, trying to figure out where I put it. Let's see. Well, anyway, it's a tiny bottle that I bottled with a 12 ml that I hoarded from samples. Oh my goodness. Because I really love that, but they're not making it the same anymore. And then Pop Art Purple by Birmingham. Diamine Earl Grey, a complex gray. It almost came out purple on here. I kept checking to make sure I was using the right bottle, and I was. Diamine Moon Dust, that's maybe number 4 shimmer ink, or 5 maybe. Diamine Ochre. Monteverde Canyon Rust. That's almost gone now, I think. Diamine Pumpkin, that's pretty. I tried something weird here. I didn't like that, so I went back to the glass nib. Lennon Toolbar, this is the Willie ink, in memory of Willie from pen friend Brenda. And then Diamine Havaso Turquoise, I got a 30 ml bottle. Twisby Sky Blue. Twisby Forest Green, Twisby Emerald Green. Okay, I was confusing the two, but that just shows I hadn't worked with them for a while. Diamine Meadow, that's new to me. It came with, there were 6 bottles, and I could get the 2 I wanted for the same price by getting all 6. Anyway, it's an ink thing. Twisby Prairie Green, Diamine Amber, that's another one that came in that set. Twisby Orange, Noodler's King Philip Requiem. And that's the big bottle we celebrated 3 years on YouTube with. And it's very stainy. It'll stain your fingers and everything else. Diamine Claret, but it's beautiful. And it looks really good in a 1.1 Lamy nib. I don't remember why I got Claret. It must have been trying to match something else. So then here is the J. Herbin Porsche de Lune that I'd like to get a larger bottle of. It's a wish list. And then the Lee de Tay, the brown by Herbin. Noodler's Black Swan, Australian Roses. I wrote with that so much the first year I got almost sick of it, which is crazy. And I'm loving it again, so must be it's time to go back with that. Noodler's Rome Burning, very hardy. It feathered like a chicken on this paper. And it's an ink master. Yeah, it's great for ink art. Noodler's Navajo Turquoise. I absolutely love this, and I like it in my Quebeco Sport. Noodler's Golden Brown. Noodler's Habanero. I bought a bottle of that. I'm surprised I did that because I have other oranges, but it's gorgeous. It is, but I have a lot of orange. Apache Sunset. It only, to me, looks good in a stub. Well, because I like a darker presentation. Noodler's Lexington Gray. Looks kind of pencil-like. I can use it in my bullet journals and stuff. Cactus Fruit Eel is very close to that King Philip. But it's no cigar, per se. But if you can see, there's King Philip and there's the... Yeah, it's close. And so if you're happy with it in a nib, you're going to go to stain less things. Monteverde Kohl Noir and Heart of Darkness from Noodler's. Those are my only 2 black. And then Diamine Oxford Blue. Robert Oster Blue Denim. This is gorgeous, but it's slightly dry. Okay, and then we go through some more Robert Oster, Australian Grey, Australian Opal Grey, very complex. Antelope Canyon, this one keeps growing on me. I really like this. They're like burned orange. Then Robert Oster Bronze and Gold Antiqua. Those are 2 favorites, but the bronze beats it. It's really nice and readable and gorgeous. And then Tranquility, that's almost gone, that's half gone. That's a beautiful teal. And then Monteverde California Teal. So I don't really have to worry so much about Gravity Wave because I have those 2 that I can finish. And then Ferris Wheel Press Autumn and Auburn, I love that. Goose Poupon. Sailor 50 States, Vermont and Oklahoma, 2 states besides Texas that I've lived in. And they're gorgeous. And then my 2 Pelican inks, Edelstein Star Ruby and Aquamarine. This one's too light for me in almost every nib, but It's a gorgeous ink. Diatramenous Dante Alighier. It's a beautiful red. It's a little bit dry. And then Muddy Dragon. That's gorgeous. And then Muddy Wine, Muddy Sand. Okay, I got to go faster because I'm negligent on something I'm supposed to be doing. Robert Oster, Muddy Water. And Muddy Swamp. And Muddy Bucket. That series is really pretty. It had 7, I think. And then Twisby Crimson, Explore More. Okay, not buy more, but explore it more. Yeah, I don't have any experience with that one. Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. It's my only bottle from them. And I didn't like it as much in a nib as I thought, but I really enjoy it for like borders and artwork and how it looks with water. Ferris Wheel Press Misguided Mistletoe. Wondrous Winterberry, Royal Rhubarb. I was getting my flow with my writing real good here at the very end. And we reached the end. Some are happy and some are sad, probably. My mother will be happy. I'm supposed to be on the phone. Ferris Wheel Press Grape Ice Pop and Colorverse Think Pink. This one is too light for me too, but I wanted to catalog it. And then I'll save a sample and I'll pass that bottle on too. So, this was a lot of fun. I can't really explain how much fun it was, but super lot of fun. And I'm sure we'll talk about it more and get into it more. And I have this index, but I'm going to type the index so that I can, you know, go straight to purple and then find the page number for certain purples. I don't like this. I could use it, but I ended up overflowing on another page. It's terrible messy, so I'm going to consolidate it and type it. But I must go for now. I promised I would do this flip through, and I'm glad I had a chance to do it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one, and let me know well, what you think of this idea, and also any ideas that you're using. And I'll link a couple of more videos in the description. Bye for now.